So today we are going to be making some macaroni and cheese, some fried chicken. I'm gonna grill some chicken, not really good. I'm gonna saute some chicken for my husband. And yeah, y'all gonna watch me put it together. And then you're gonna be able to watch the little ones enjoy it. This is not really hard. This is easy, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. So let's do this.
Alright, so I have some chicken here. It's been brining in some salt, some water, some vinegar. And now I'm taking it out of that brine and I am rinsing it off, making sure that it is nice and dry. This is going to help the seasoning stick onto the chicken. The brine has already started to flavor it, and now when we season it, because it's dry, the seasoning will stay onto the chicken better. So now I'm just separating the chicken out. I'm taking some pieces and I'm putting it to the side. And I'm going to season these differently because one batch is going to be for my husband and the other batch I'm going to fry for the little ones. So I'm seasoning it with some salt, some pepper. I have some adobo. I have some garlic powder. I have some onion powder. And I have some complete seasoning by Baya. Now, the complete seasoning I'm only going to put on the chicken that I'm frying. And on the chicken that I am sauteing for my husband, I'm going to use what's called a beer can chicken. All right, so now that that's done, we are going to crack 2 eggs. We're going to whisk it together really well. And then we are going to set that aside. We're going to take a bag, 1 cup of flour, and we are just going to bread this chicken. Nothing fancy, some plain old flour. All right, so now that that's done, we're going to take the same bag. We're going to add some more flour and we're going to add some crushed cornflakes. And you can buy it either way at your grocery store. And into this cornflake flour mixture, we're going to add some salt. We're going to add some more garlic powder, some more Baya seasoning, some pepper, and the adobo. And we're just going to mix that together. And then we're going to start breading our chicken. So you first dip the chicken in the egg and then into the flour mixture. And then we're going to set that aside. So after I'm done breading everything, I like to let the chicken sit with the coating on it for about 15, 20 minutes. 30 minutes is fine too. So once you get it all done and it's all nice and crispy and coated, this is what it will look like. All right, so I've already let it sit. Of course, I'm not going to show you that part, but this is me getting ready to fry the chicken. And I actually made the macaroni before I fried it. But yes, you see I'm testing the temperature of the oil to make sure that it's right. And now I'm adding the chicken into the oil. And this is simple. We're going to just fry the chicken until it's nice and golden brown. I do not use a thermometer to check the temperature of my chicken, although I do highly recommend it because you can get salmonella poisoning if it's not cooked thoroughly. But I tend to just cook it until it's golden brown. And as long as your oil is, your stove's on like a medium, it should be right. If you're cooking it for about 10 minutes, should be perfect. We're taking it out. It's nice and golden brown. And now we're starting on the macaroni. I actually did this before I fried the chicken, but I'm not going to separate it for you guys to see. But obviously when you make macaroni, you need salt and water. Cook the pasta until it's al dente. Now I drained it, and now you see I'm adding 2 tablespoons of melted butter. And what we're going to do right now is make a roux for the macaroni. I've added some flour, and we're going to let the flour cook down a little bit until it removes the flour taste. Excuse me. I'm adding some evaporated milk. It's called carnation milk. And I had my stove a little too high, so the roux came out a little lumpy, but that's okay. We're just going to keep adding milk and mixing through it until that baby is nice and smooth. And so you want your consistency to look something like this when your roux is done. All right, we're going to add some salt. We're going to add a little bit of pepper. And then we're going to start adding in the cheese. So I've added medium cheddar. I've added some pepper jack. And I've also added some shredded Velveeta cheese. But feel free to add whatever kind of cheese you like, because I've played with the cheeses. And, yeah. You have to play with it to figure out what it is that you like. You can't just go 100% with somebody else's. Unless you have an old grandma recipe macaroni, then please do not deviate. But if you're like me and you did not have a grandmother to teach you all her secrets and tricks, you have to learn how to play with things, child, until it tastes how you want it to taste. So yeah, this is what it looks like. I've added some more milk to thin it out. And now I'm just going to add my cooked pasta to the cheese. Get it all mixed up. Season it a little bit more. Make sure it tastes how I want it to taste. Add a little bit of salt if I need it. A little bit of pepper if I need it. I actually add a little bit of sazon as well. This is a Spanish seasoning that you should be able to find in like your international aisle if you can't find it with the rest of your spices. But, that's the sazon. You can see it's red in color. And it adds to the color, but it also gives it a really nice flavor that I like. So this is the final product. So we're going to go ahead and just pour this right on into the dish. And we are going to add the rest of our cheese on top. Also on top, I also added the rest of my Velveeta, but I also did this this cheddar mix that I get from Costco that I really like. It has like some white cheddar and it has some like Mexican kind of cheese to it. And then at the very end of it, I add a little bit of oregano because I love the way oregano and cheese taste together. I think it just is a great compliment. And this is the final product. Now that everything is done, the grilled chicken for my husband, fried chicken for the children, macaroni and cheese, and some baked beans.
How's the chicken?
Good.
Chicken's good? How's the macaroni?
I tried it here. My nose. Just use it. Put it in my mouth because it's too hot.
Oh yeah? What? So far so good?
What?
Just sorry.
It means good. Oh, God.
Decide what's wrong with you? Your phone died?
No, the thing's not even gonna charge. It is gonna stay like this.